What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again with another game preview and score prediction for Rivalry Week. The Georgia Bulldogs versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Cupcakes, I might add. But anyway, this is an annual rivalry between these teams. And year after year, Georgia has been beating the brakes off of these Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. You know, I got some, mostly Alabama fans to say I give Georgia too much credit. Okay, you got to give credit what credit is due, man. I mean, if it was anybody else, say it was Tennessee, I would give Tennessee the same credit I give Georgia, all right? So you would be saying, I'm giving Tennessee too much credit then. But it just happened to be Georgia, who's the juggernaut in the SEC in college football right now. So I just give credit what credit's due, I'll give credit to Ohio State, Michigan, they good this year. Ole Miss is good. I'll give credit to them. Okay, so it's not that I'm a fan of those teams or I'm a fan of Georgia. I just give credit what credit's due because y'all know I am a diehard Alabama Crimson Tide fan. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video and talk about these Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Who is coming into this game at 6-5? Finally, after years of not being able to make a bowl game, Georgia Tech is going bowling in 2023. They 6-5, 5-3 in the conference, under the tutelage of Brent Key. All right, Brent Key, he done turned this program around. You know, Georgia Tech would win 2 or 3 games a year, straight up terrible. But this guy has got him to a bowl game. I believe this is his second year or whatever. So it is what it is. I believe last year he was an interim coach. I'm not quite sure, but I know he ain't been there over 2 years as a head coach. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Georgia Tech, terrible. Their defense, their defense is giving up more yardage than their offense is gaining. You can't win that way, even though they got 6 wins. As a matter of fact, let's go back and see who they got their wins over. Georgia Tech has beaten South Carolina State. Georgia Tech has beaten Wake Forest. They have beaten Miami. Whoa, yeah, they did beat Miami. North Carolina, Virginia, and Syracuse. Now, Miami and North Carolina, I think those are 2 good wins for this Georgia Tech football team. Syracuse, they trash. But anyway, yeah, they got 2 good wins over Miami and North Carolina. Miami a pretty good team this year, They ain't no slouches. But as far as Georgia Tech, like I say, the defense is giving up more yardage than the offense is gaining. That's a recipe for disaster. Haynes King, he's been a disaster for them at quarterback. Yeah, he got 26 touchdowns, but the dude threw 15 interceptions. That is terrible. 15 interceptions on the season is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And you done played, 11 games and you got 15 interceptions? That is terrible. He have passed for almost 2,600 yards, though, but those 15 interceptions is terrible. All right, so it is what it is. Then you got, as far as running, Haynes King has picked up 224 yards with his legs with 7 touchdowns. So that is a big help. I mean, getting it done with his arm and it. Well, he really ain't getting it done with his arm, but he's getting it done with his legs. But 15 touchdowns is terrible. I don't give a damn that he have thrown 26 touchdowns. As far as their running game, they got Jamal Haynes. He's pretty good. 850 yards, 7 touchdowns, plus he got a touchdown through the air on 150 yards receiving. So he's pretty good at the backfield. So that's pretty good. Him and Haynes King has scored most of the rushing touchdowns. You got Travion Cooley with 4 touchdowns on the season. Then Evan Dickens, he's not Evan Dickens, but Dante Smith, he got 4 touchdowns on 371 yards rushing. So they got a pretty good run game with the help of Haynes King. Just need to just stop them damn interceptions. Probably would have had more wins. You wouldn't keep turning the ball over Haynes King. But anyway, as far as far as their passing game. All right. They got Eric Singleton, who is their leading receiver, 610 yards with 6 touchdowns. You got Brett Sether, 4 touchdowns. All right. Only got 73 yards. So I believe he's a tight end. So he scored 4 touchdowns, short yardage tight end. So that's pretty good, scoring 4 touchdowns on the 73 yards receiving. You got 2 transfer wide receivers. A transfer from Alabama, Kristen Leary, 2 touchdowns on the season with 309 yards receiving. And Dominique Blaylock, transfer from Georgia, who has 2 touchdowns and 337 yards receiving. Those are the main wide receivers. Well, no, you got Malik Rutherford. He's got 3 touchdowns on 442 yards receiving. Those are your main wide receivers. Those are the guys on offense for Georgia Tech. I mean, but all in all, that offense, it is no match for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, as far as the defense got 21 takeaways. 21 takeaways. That is a lot of takeaways for defense in only 11 games. That's about 2 turnovers per game. As a matter of fact, they got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 interceptions and 9 fumble recoveries. All right. And I'm sure they done forced some fumbles that they haven't recovered. So this defense is trying to get after the ball, man. They trying to take it away. Can they get 2 or 3 against Georgia? We don't know. That remains to be seen. Even if they do, I don't think they can win the game. All right. Georgia just got too many weapons for this Georgia Tech football team. I think the defense is too good. The offense is too good. They got the better coaching staff. All around better football program. But talking about these Georgia Bulldogs, you know, I know Georgia Tech. They got 18 sacks. Okay, 18 sacks. Can they get pressure on Carson Beck? Because all season, I haven't really seen Carson Beck get pressure. And I want to see how Carson Beck will react in a game where he's consistently getting pressure. So, but long as he got that clean pocket, he will eat you up all day long. And Mike Bobo, I mean, he's calling plays better than what I thought he would call plays, you know, especially in the offseason when they promoted Mike Bobo. You know, I was laughing about this shit, talking shit about Mike Bobo and shit. But Mike Bobo is calling the plays at the right time, the right plays at the right time. He done took a lot out of Todd Monken's playbook. And, hey, he's using what Todd Monken used, plus he done threw it in his own stuff. I seen him do a couple of trick plays, you know, at times. But, yeah, Mike Bobo is doing a good job for those Georgia Bulldogs this year. But they're going to have to somehow get pressure on Carson Beck. I mean, but that's a credit to Georgia's offensive line that Carson Beck consistently have a clean pocket. Georgia got better in the run game with Kendall Milton and DeJohn Edwards. They doing their thing. Wide receiver core, you know what that's all about. They got playmakers all in the wide receiver core. And then, what's his name? Brock Bowers and came back, continue where he left off. So I don't think Georgia Tech will be able to stop this offense. So it is what it is. Defensively, can Georgia Tech move the ball on Georgia? Haynes King got 15 interceptions. So in this game, he might throw 2 or 3 more. So I think Georgia will get more turnovers, you know, more takeaways than Georgia Tech, even though Georgia Tech, they got more takeaways up to this point than Georgia. But, I mean, Georgia only got 12 takeaways on the season to Georgia Tech's 21. But I think with Haynes King throwing all these damn interceptions and the caliber athletes that Georgia got on defense, I just think Georgia will get more takeaways than daggone Georgia Tech. So, it ain't take long to make this little video. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to my score prediction, which I'm predicting blowout. I'm going to put it that way. A blowout. So I'm going to give Georgia 40. We're going to get Georgia 42. They'll probably score more than that. 42 and Georgia Tech. I mean, teams have been scoring on Georgia. You know, Vandy scored 21. 20 or 21. UAB scored 20, 21. I think Vanderbilt, they scored 20. Vanderbilt scored 20, I think. So Georgia Tech, they done got better. So I'm going to give Georgia Tech 17 points. Yeah. So Georgia Bulldogs 42, Georgia Tech 17. That's my score prediction, my final answer, and I'm sticking with it. Roll damn Tide.